Sweet, beautiful souls. Hello, welcome back. When it comes to growth and expansion and spiritual evolution, there are so many decisions that we are faced with in our life that are going to require us to be uncomfortable, that are going to require us to feel like we are actually making the wrong decision, even though we know deep within us it is the right decision. This is what I want to dive into today because it is a new year. Everyone's ready for the growth, the expansion until they say they are. You put it on your vision board. You put it on your vision board that you want to manifest this and create this and receive this and become this. But what happens, myself included, is then things get hard. Things get hard when we ask for big things. Things get hard when we ask for big things because we have to raise our standard. We have to raise the caliber in which we have been living, acting, breathing, and assimilating and seeing the world. We have to raise that so that we may now be an energetic match for what we're asking for. So what I want to dive into, because here's what happens. Here's the tricky thing that our ego does. Our ego, when things start to get hard, the ego is going to say, this isn't it. Go, get out. Bail out. You are not in the right situation. We got to find something else. This is not it. This is your ego's way of protecting you. This is your ego has a job. And we don't even have to call it the ego. It's literally just the primordial aspect of us. This aspect of us that wants to keep us safe, it wants to keep us alive, and it has a very important job. And when we are in those life and death situations, which don't happen very often, maybe once a year, thank you. Thank you for keeping us alive. Thank you for getting my body to move out of the way of that car, of that truck, of that situation, whatever it may be, right? But in our day-to-day lives, when we are experiencing these what feels like life or death things to the ego, but are really just opportunities for expansion, we have to begin to learn the difference. And ultimately, we have to begin to make friends with being uncomfortable. One of the greatest things I think that we can learn in our journey is that discomfort does not mean we made the wrong decision. I know for me, this was huge when I made a big decision and things start to fall apart. And so then we start to question ourselves and think, was that the wrong decision? Should I have not done that? No. It means that everything that is not in alignment with the decision that you just made is going to begin to fall away, is going to begin to release so that you can create space for this new opportunity, for this new expansion, and for this new and next version of you. And so when it comes to becoming the new and next version of you, we have to begin to differentiate fight or flight, fear, freeze, fawn, versus this is uncomfortable and I can future project to the version and vision of me who has overcome it. And that is what I'm going to hold on to. This is where our intuition and learning all the ways in which our intuition really works can help us so much. Because here's the thing. There is a time and a place to bail out. Absolutely. I'm not saying please keep yourself safe. This is not telling you to go jump off a cliff. It's just my intuition told me. But one of a huge hack that we can use with this is when we're making a decision and things start to fall away, things feel like they're going wrong or bad, begin to future project and see yourself down the line Tune into that vision and version of you down the line who already has done, who already has become, and see now, using your intuition, was that the right choice? And what you're often going to find is, yes, once I can overcome the obstacle, this was absolutely the right choice. So here's the other thing, and the really big thing that I want to talk about as well when it comes to this. Again, we're in a new year. There are new, but really ultimately, every single moment is an opportunity for a new version of you, for a new iteration of you, for a new creation of you. And so we have to begin to become more malleable, to become adaptive to the next vision and version of us, to the next vision and version of us, and the next vision and version of us. What this is going to require, and I'm seeing this really big right now for a lot of people and myself included, just because something worked yesterday, a year ago, a month ago, it doesn't matter. Just because something worked then, it doesn't mean that it is meant and going to work now. An example of this. Let's say a year ago, you wanted to lose weight. So you simply you cut your calories, you increased your exercise, you lost weight. Now you're doing that and the weight is not budging. We all have heard of this or have experienced this, right? There's something greater at play here. And nutritionists, which I am one, and health coaches and doctors and stuff will have a lot of explanations and reasons for this. And those all could be true, that your metabolism has changed and that there are new things that you have to do and there's new foods and now there's new ways of doing this. And now it's about building your metabolism, and all of these things are true, okay? I'm not saying any of these are false. However, what has also happened alongside your body and metabolism changing is your frequency has changed. And so as your frequency changes, what your body requires will also change. So when we're just at a certain frequency level, diet and exercise they're it, right? But as you begin to raise your frequency, elevate your consciousness, begin to learn and harness new skills and tools and beliefs and ways of being and seeing and perceiving, now they're like only have a 5% effect, just what you eat and how often you exercise. Now it's about perhaps implementing an entirely new diet, an entirely new way that before would make you gain weight, but now your body wants that in order to lose weight. It could also be implementing a meditation. It could be slowing down. It could be doing the exact opposite. It could be allowing your nervous system to find balance and harmony and doing somatic work and somatic exercises. And then you could go through that, and then that could not be the right way. And because your frequency has now elevated more because you've come more into your body. And so then after that, it could be exploring a new hobby and creating new neural pathways in the brain, and that creates this opportunity for flexibility and expansion in your body. And then after that, it is like now the body is asking you and the soul is asking you to be living a different life purpose. And just because you begin to live a different purpose that gives you so much love and joy and passion, you automatically shed the excess. You see, so it's never a one-size-fits-all approach to anything. And this is why it doesn't matter what is transpiring in your life or anyone else's life, because everyone is individual. So when someone tells you that they know the way to do it, and they've, we all see those ads, I've helped thousands of people, and this is just the way to do it. But you might be at a totally different frequency than this person is telling people how to do it at that frequency. There is a niche for every frequency and for everything. And so everything that you hear and see, I really think that everything has value. Everything has value. Every modality, every healing modality, every teacher, like everything has value, and everything and everyone has something valuable to say and to share. Now, whether that is going to serve you and where you're at in your frequency is a whole nother story. Take, for example, also trying to heal an aspect of the body. I see this very commonly, and I've experienced this myself. So, for example, a skin condition like eczema, I've seen this happen with people, is that the eczema, you finally, after years, you find a solution for it. You find that it was a belief, or it was a food, or it was like something like that. And then years later, it comes back. And so you think, oh, like I must just need to stop eating that food, or it must be that same belief, or whatever it was that healed it in the first place. I must just need to do that same modality that got rid of it. I must need to go back to that same healer who got rid of it. You've changed, my friend. You are now at a different level. You are now operating at a different octave. And so just because that modality, just because that healer, just because that whatever helped it then, it does not mean that that is the medicine that your body is asking for now. And so I want you to begin to think and come into your mind and ask, what have I been asking for? What are the things that I've been asking for in my life? What type of expansion? Have I been asking for more money? Have I been asking for a loving relationship? Have I been asking to feel fulfilled in my purpose and vocation? Have I been asking for my body to heal and to have health and vitality? Like, what is it that you were asking for? And then begin to turn your attention inwards and see, like, who is it that I need to become in order for this to take place? And in my becoming, what needs to fall away in order for this to take place? And when we begin to start asking these questions and having these deeper dialogues with the body, with our consciousness, with our higher self, with source, we're now led and guided towards the next thing. And then the pain, the perceived danger and threat, they may come. It may feel scary. It may feel like it's not working out. And if you're feeling that, it's probably because it is. If there's something with the higher self and as human beings that we want to feel as though we have achieved. We want to feel as though we have achieved. And so often something can come very easily and we'll think, no, that's not it. That was too easy. And so the higher self then will orchestrate some type of way for us to feel as though like, oh, I earned this. I achieved this. It's part of the wild human game we have all signed up to play. But so when we experience the challenge, then embrace it, lean in and go deeper. And similarly, if someone is triggering you, lean in and go deeper. If you come across a healer or a coach or a therapist who is triggering you and you just say goodbye because you're triggered, that medicine will have to present itself to you in another teacher, in another form, in another way, in your significant other, which none of us want that. So lean in. When you feel discomfort, lean in. When you feel triggered, lean in. When you feel as though things are getting challenging, lean in. And recognize that what you have been asking for is going to require a new version of you and is therefore going to call forth a new modality, a new approach, a new perspective, a new way in which you can view the situation, a new way in which your consciousness is being asked to work with the situation. There is a divine interaction between your consciousness and the situation. And the key to unlock it is when we find the match. What I have found is that different modalities, different healers, people, teachings, everything is going to calibrate at a level of consciousness, at a frequency. And so depending on our frequency, the frequency of the situation, the frequency of where we're moving into, all of that, it matters. And so if you've been doing a healing modality, a type of energy work or a type of thing for all of your life and it's now not working. Congratulations, you're now at a higher frequency. It doesn't mean that anything is wrong with you or anything is wrong with the modality. It means that you have evolved, and that is something to celebrate. So celebrate when things don't work. Celebrate when things feel hard. It means that your soul is calling you up to higher. It means that you are expanding and growing and evolving. And what a better thing to celebrate than that? And so when and if you need help and support in your growth and in your expansion, learning the ways in which your intuition works, because the way that your intuition works is going to be unique to you, and we have to begin to find our unique way. One of my favorite ways to do this is going to be in one-on-one sessions or doing a gene key or a human design reading so that you can see how your unique energy encoding works. These have been so fun for me to do with and for people because people begin to see how they tick. People begin to see how they work and how they operate and how their unique energy system interacts with the world. I do these differently than anyone else does them because I'm not just reading you your chart. I'm reading you your chart in a way that you will be able to integrate and assimilate this and receive this because it's coming with messages from your higher self. Because it's coming with messages from your guides, and because it is calling forth what you are evolving into. I want anyone who comes into my circle, I want you to grow. I want you to expand, because when you do that, you then radiate out the force field for others to do that. And you then become that example for others. And it's just this ripple effect that grows and expands. And that is the time that we're in. And so as you harness your gifts, harness your truth, harness your knowing, and learn how to work with your divine matrix of who you are, everything in life becomes easier to navigate. And when the challenges do arise, you now are equipped with the tools to overcome them and to navigate them. You begin to tell and differentiate between this is my primordial aspect of me that wants to keep me alive versus this is my intuition and I must go. I must do this, even though it's challenging. All of the links for ways to work with me are going to be below. We're in this together. You've got this. And with that, my friends, I'm just sending you all infinite love and light.